Hello and welcome. Happy Tuesday. Hi, Rose. How are you?
I'm
Hi,
very
Alan.
well. Yourself?
I'm magnificent.
Hi, ladies.
Oh, it's so fantastic. Now, if you're from Adelaide, you would have experienced some very unusual weather yesterday. It was 31 degrees where I was, and it was blowing a gale. And now we're back to 19. Who can guess it? It's amazing. So today, guys, I know, I've got a skivvy on. Welcome to the Healing Through Love show. We're here to increase awareness within the community about providing family and domestic violence survivors with a soft place to land and to offer advice on services available to those survivors and their families.
And we have many local businesses and service people who generously pay it forward at our Pamper Days by providing their time and resources at these events.
And each week what we do on this show is we interview a couple of those wonderful supporters of our Pamper Days to learn more about their personal journeys and their businesses and why they support Healing Through Love.
Fantastic. Now, our comrades are going to just disappear off the screen, and I'm going to have the privilege and pleasure of introducing our next guest. Ali is going to be one of our guests. So in the meantime, she's going to be having a chat in the chat, and Rose is running the machinery behind the door. Okay, today I'd like to introduce our two fabulous guests. We've got Carla Edwards and Ali Sugars is going to be joining us today. First of all, I'd like to introduce our first guest, Carla Edwards. She's the mother of 4 beautiful children, 2 of which have special needs. She's lived in country South Australia for most of her life, and now since 2018 has lived in Adelaide. And she's the designer of the Plan, Grow, Thrive Journal, and that's what we're here to talk about today. Plus, she's the founder of Business Cuppa Connect. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Carla. Hi, Carla.
Hello. Thank you for having me here.
Oh, Carla, it's such a privilege and a pleasure to have you in this space because, you know, we share a history in the space of family and domestic violence. So you're a sister in arms, and you've taken such a beautiful approach to your learnings in life, and now you're out there helping others. So first of all, could we maybe talk about the Business Cuppa Connect? How does that work and what's that about? And then we'll chat about the journal.
Okay. Business Cuppa Connect is all about keeping connected, especially through the pandemic. That's when we started, just keeping connected with other like-minded people in business and chatting. So once a month there's a Zoom, and we usually have a guest speaker in there with topics that can help others with their business or a service that they can use if they want to. And just basically saying hi to other people online when we couldn't get out there and have a coffee with someone, just to say hi and have a chat and have a bit of socialising through the pandemic. But here in South Australia, we can sort of get out and about now, so it's not such a big issue on socialising, but it's still nice to just socialise online.
Absolutely, and that's so true. And if you're listening here today to the show, and you're either a survivor or you're a person who has their own business or entrepreneur or an offering that might be advantageous. Now, most of your people in the Cuppa Connect are business people, yes?
Yes.
And most of them are mothers as well, aren't they?
Yes.
So even from a mother's perspective, if you've got information that's going to make a difference for the mothers, Carla, are you currently looking for people to be speaking in that space?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. So if you're listening today, reach out to Carla Edwards, and the details of Carla is rolling across the bottom of the screen. You can see there. Reach out to Carla and offer your services to have a conversation inside her Cuppa Connect. So I've had the privilege and pleasure of sharing Mindshift in that space, and I'd love to come back and have a talk about conversational sales. When you're ready, Carla, because I just noticed with entrepreneurs, that's one thing. I have the same conversation every week with my business coaching clients is about how they sell their products and how they feel about the pricing structure of their products. So I'd love to have a conversation with your team with that, and that would help them as well. It'd be great. Any more opportunity to spend more quality time with you, Carla, it would be great.
A lot of us definitely have that guilt syndrome of being salesy.
Yes. And so, and the definitely conversational sales just takes it to a space where it's just having a conversation. So I'd love to share those tips and techniques. Carla, also, I want to talk about the journal, and I really love this. So, but before we get to talk about the journal, can I just ask you, could you, if you feel comfortable, could you share with us the story that, you know, was your awakening to get to this place? Because this is a very important piece, and I really do know that it makes a difference for women out there and fathers out there that have got children with special needs. Would you be open to sharing the story?
Absolutely. Yeah, sure. So I guess my story started with my oldest son, Andrew. He's now 22. Well, he will be 22 very soon this year. And he was, how could I put it, a different child, very unruly, what seemed to be unruly and naughty, as it was put back then. Very naughty and unruly and uncontrolled. And as children go, they have their development stages of learning and growing and all of that. And Andrew struggled to do certain things at development ages, but it wasn't really noticed initially. It just came out as anger and frustration. And what drew me to realising something wasn't quite right, he had some Lego, the big duplex box of Lego. He was sitting on the floor playing it, and he just couldn't fit the pieces together. And it's something that, you know, any 3-4-year-old should be able to do, just click them together, and he had trouble doing it and couldn't do it. So I sat with him for a while, and I showed him several times, and yeah, I got it now, Mum, like, leave me alone. So I left him to it, and he was still fiddling around with it. He got it a couple of times, and then he got so frustrated he started throwing it across the room. I had Lego flying past my head and wondering what was going on, and I just knew then that something wasn't quite right, and it was time to start observing and figuring out what was going on. Yeah.
So is that what led you to design the journal? And maybe you could just tell us a little bit about the journal and how it works, and yeah, that'd be great. Could you?
Sure. So I found after that, asking questions with people and starting to go through the process, it was a very confusing process, and there wasn't a lot out there to help you through the process unless you're willing to sit down and do a lot of research. And who do you see? Who do you talk to? Where do you start? How does it work? It just keeps bringing on more and more questions. And even now, the process can be very confusing on how to reach from something's wrong to gaining a diagnosis. There's a big gap and a lot of research that needs to be done and people that you need to see, but how do you get to that point? So the journal is all about helping people through that process of discovering there's something not quite right, to recording and documenting what's happening, to then be able to take it to the GP, your local GP or doctor, and from there they can help you get the resources that you need. So the journal is all about documenting the behaviours that's happening and what you can do with those behaviours or sensory issues that's happening, and get you to the resources that you need.
Okay, so the people that would be looking at this are people with children, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. So I know as a woman at 53, I'm hoping to have grandchildren, that like from even my perspective at my age, just watching the grandchildren grow up, that it might be even something at my age I might be interested in having a look at, just, you know, being the nosy grandmother that I'm sure I will be. So this is really great for any member of the family who wants to help with a child's development. And it doesn't sound invasive from what we've spoken about before, because we've had some beautiful conversations about the journal. It sounds like it's a really simple, easy process to follow, and gives you that level of guidance so that you can have that identification. And this is, from what you've explained to me, this is what you would take from, home, and you would take this to the expert experts, and then they would be able to have documentation then for them to be able to move forward with a diagnosis. So it's not that we're doing the diagnosis. It's not that we're playing Dr. Google. It's that we're observing, we're reporting, and then we're taking it to the people that can make those decisions. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. So my first question is, how do we get hold of these journals? Do we just reach out to you to get more information? Could we maybe share some information in our group about how people get hold of the journals?
Yeah, just reach out to me.
Excellent. Yeah. Fantastic. Now, for people that live, abroad, and maybe they don't want to have it posted to them, can they get an e-copy of it so that they can actually print it out themselves, or is it something a hard copy? Does it come in both forms?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, great. That's fantastic, because for some people, that by the time you pay the postage, it's just easier to get it and print it out yourself. Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Well, Carla, this has been fantastic to coming along and having a chat. And I know that we tapped you on the shoulder really late in the piece. So thank you for being so amazingly flexible like you always are, and so courageous, and, standing up and sharing such beautiful story, because I know that there's other mothers out there that are thinking, I think there's something just not the same. What can I do? What's my next steps? And to go through this process of filling the journal in, then it gives you an opportunity to have that place to take it to the experts for them to sort of see what's happening. Thank you so much, Carla, for sharing.
Here.
Oh, and we look forward to having you with our next Pamper Day. That's going to be May next year. So, Carla, would be really honoured for you to have your own stand there with the journal, so that you can be talking to mums in that educational space about the journal as well. So that would be so lovely to have you there. So I know that you'll be ready by May to have that up and running, and with your banners and everything else. I'm pretty excited. So we'll chat with you soon about that. Stay active in the group, and make sure you fill in your paperwork, because Rose will be on you if you don't. Carla, thank you so much for joining us. Carla, thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to go now to a very brief commercial break, and then we'll be back with our next guest. It's just going to happen like that, guys. Like, I'll disappear and the commercial will come on. It's that simple. Hello, and we're back. That was a very brief commercial break. I'd like to introduce our next amazing guest, Ali Sugars. She's a woman's transformation coach working with ladies who've experienced significant life trauma, drawing from her personal experience in several DV relationships and more recent workplace sexual harassment and bullying experiences. She assists her clients to transform themselves from the fear of never getting their lives back on track again, to discover their strengths, confidence, and powerful voice inside. She's also a host of Purple Warrior podcast, and she speaks up against violence against women in particular. Can I introduce Ali Sugars? Hello, Ali. Ali, I can't actually hear you. Now, I don't know if it's me or if you have a look in the chat. Yes, Ali, I can hear you. So behind the scenes, guys, just so you know, we've had a before party and we've been chatting. So that's why we were muted, because we've been very naughty girls. Ali, I'd love you to share with. This is true. Ali, I'd love you to share with us the story of, well, not necessarily all the details, but if you could just tell us, what got you to where you are now.
Yeah, look, it's a journey. And so I know we've only got a few minutes, but, it's a journey that's happened over 25 years or so. But it came to a head, if you like, in 2017, when I was experiencing workplace bullying and abuse and sexual harassment from my boss. Now, this kind of led me to having a complete mental breakdown. I was forced to resign that job. And because of the situation, I ended up with PTSD and I was diagnosed with acute anxiety. So I was a complete mess. But, you know, there was a moment when I was lying on the couch and I was just totally unable to physically or mentally move. And I started just you know, contemplating my life, what's happened in my life, you know, and I went back to when I was 16 years old, and I was, this was a realization that I had in this moment, that I was actually sexually abused by my very first boyfriend, and emotionally abused as well. And then, you know, going a little bit further, I had a domestically violent first marriage, which is the marriage I had my 2 children in. And, you know, that was, you know, it was a tough situation where we had, you know, I was 23 and I had 2 children under the age of 14 months. We had a mortgage that we couldn't afford. We had, you know, my husband was unemployed, so we had to start a business, and we didn't have much. And I was also suffering from postnatal depression after both my children, and unbeknownst to me, my husband was taking drugs. So you can imagine that was a boiling pot about to explode. and you know, it did, unfortunately, in the form of domestic violence. But thankfully, with the help of my parents, I managed to get out of that relationship and survive it and raise my 2 beautiful children. And, you know, but what I didn't do after that relationship was I didn't see myself as a whole person, if you like. I was seeing myself as someone who had to have a partner or a husband to make myself a complete person. I was seeing myself as just a mother. Now, you know, there's no such thing as just a mother, but that's how I was seeing myself. So I actually very quickly went into another marriage, which ended up being abusive as well, so financially and emotionally abusive. But this time, you know, I had a little bit more education. I realised sooner what was happening, and I was able to come out of that relationship, thankfully, quite quickly. But, you know, when I came out of this relationship, this was the moment when I started to realise that there's more to me than being a wife. You know, I really went on a search to find out the essence of Ali and who I was as a person, because it's something I'd never done, because I kind of went into these relationships for quite an early age. So bring it forward to 2017, and yeah, so when I was sexually abused by my boss, you know, I had the choice whether I was going to report him or not. And given my history, how could I not report him? But, you know, and I remember the moment when I was actually facing a panel, facing a panel talking about the situation and stuff. And at the end of that interview, they said to me, what would you like to come out of this interview? And I didn't have an answer to that question. And I fell apart. That was the moment when I just fell apart. As I said, I ended up losing my job from that. I was forced to resign. But, you know, that moment on the couch, that was when I realised I've got a story to tell, and I've got this experience. I've gone through this experience for a reason, and I've got a gift that I can help people with. So, you know, it's taken a little while for me to realise how I was going to do that, but now I'm working, as you said, as a women's transformation coach, and I'm so privileged to be able to be helping the ladies that I help.
Oh, I love it, Ali. We've been swimming in the same circles for quite some time, and we've been sort of swimming around each other. And we've been bumping into each other at lots of networking events and everything else. And then, you know, it was just a beautiful occasion for us to, you know, play our cards on the table and say, well, this is what we're doing. And you're like, well, this is what I'm doing. And we're like, well, this is the same thing. We should be doing it together. So it's been a beautiful marriage of you know, myself, yourself, and Rose, and just heading in that direction to make such an impact for women in this space. It's truly a privilege to be in this space making a difference. So I love the fact that we work together. It's exciting. It doesn't even feel like work. Rose might not say that because she gets more to do than us do. But yeah, she's listening to us right now. She's going, yes, she does more. Just so you know, Rose does more work. Everybody.
True, she does. She's awesome.
She's amazing. We wouldn't be here without. I just would love to know a little bit more about, how does the process work, and is it only people that are going through transformation that come and reach out to you?
It is actually all different kinds of women that reach out to me. So when I say, what I do is I work with ladies who haven't just survived abuse, but all kinds of significant trauma. So, I've worked with a lot of ladies who, might have special needs children. They might be having difficult marriages. They might have had, car accident, PTSD for whatever different reason. There's so many different scenarios out there. But it's amazing how when you do this type of work, the people that are drawn to you are often the people who have, survived through similar circumstances. So I do work with a lot of ladies who have, survived all kinds of abuse, whether it be workplace abuse, domestic violence, whatever it is. So,
and I see that we've got running across the bottom of the screen that they can book with you for a 30-minute, a 90-minute, as it say. Connect with Ali for more information through her Facebook, Ali Sugars. And she's giving away a 90-minute clarity and coaching session, and you just go to her calendar to book that in. So that's very, very generous, Ali, for you to do that. And Ali, you also run the Purple Warriors. Can you tell us a little bit more about that podcast?
I do. This was like a passion project that started for me, and it was all about how I was going to start getting my story out there and being able to. This is actually how I started being able to help the ladies in this space. So the podcast isn't running live anymore, but all the episodes are still available to go and listen to, and it's really just about providing survivors with recovery techniques. We've got all kinds of guests on there. It's actually very similar to what we do here on the Healing Through Love show, where we've had a lot of guests who've gone on and talked about NLP, Reiki, all kinds of things, tapping, all kinds of things. And, but it's also, I like to think it's about creating awareness for the general public on how they can help people in this space as well. So it really, when I think about it, it's just another, it's just another Healing Through Love show.
And
it's not funny.
It's interesting, Ali, because quite a few of your guests on that show come to this show. So we're like sister shows. That's exactly how it works, guys, because we're all in the same boat. And, if you're here today and you're listening to Ali's story and listening to Carla's story and, you're a survivor yourself, and not even necessarily yourself, you might have children that have gone through it, or it's been in the family. And remember, we're not talking just domestic. We're also talking family violence as well. So if you're in this space and you want to now step up and lean in and make a difference in the space, and if you're local to Adelaide or Tasmania, you might be interested in being part of our next show. So the next one we've got is coming up in May, and Ali and I are very excited because the location is amazing. And obviously this year had to be put on the back burner because of, thank you, COVID. The next year, though, is going to be bigger than Ben-Hur. So the Pamper Days are an experience for the girls to come along and basically get a shopping bag, and they get to go shopping and take whatever tickles their fancy from the op shop that we've provided, and then go from stall to stand and have neck and shoulder massage, have their tarot readings done, have spiritual alignments, have, you name it. We've got stalls in different professions all over the place. We've also got people that are authorities in this space able to help people as well. So the whole thing is provided free, and it's funded by the people that are actually creating the stands there, and the good nature and goodwill of our sponsors as well. So Ali and I are extremely excited about the next one in May. It'll be a long time between drinks for us.
Yeah,
absolutely. So Ali, so that's fantastic. So working the podcast, and so moving forward, when will you resume the podcasts?
I've actually just started another collaboration with someone else. So it's with a lady called Karen Howe. So we're starting our own TV show tomorrow morning. Again, similar to Healing Through Love. You said I could talk, talk underwater, and it's true because you give me a chance to talk, and I will. So yes, we are starting a new TV show live on Facebook, and it's all about, discussing similar things, survival techniques, how to rediscover yourself as a person, and all kinds of topics like that. So that starts at it is 8:30 tomorrow morning, live on Facebook. So you can actually find all about that on my Facebook business page as well.
Fantastic. And that will be live streamed into your page as well as to the group, yes?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Fantastic. So just out of curiosity, are you using any apps to live stream it, or you're just streaming it through Facebook?
Just streaming it through Facebook at the moment, yeah.
Yep. Okay. Oh, that's fantastic. So will you be recording them and having them on YouTube? You can tell the business is just oozing out here. So are you going to be running them on through YouTube as well?
Yes, Charlene, we will. Yeah. I hadn't thought about it, but yes, we will. Yes.
And will you be tearing off the audio so that you can play it as a podcast on one of the platforms?
Probably. I love it. Business coach, I love it.
So, yeah, guys, I can't help myself. This is how I am. You'd laugh, Ali, because when I go out for dinner, which I frequently do, I'm usually giving the restaurant business advice. Last week I was at the pub and I was giving them some advice on how to do some things. I just can't help myself. Rose, yes. And also, guys, if you need any tech support for anything that you do in the speaking space, whether it be broadcasting, everything, reach out to Rose. That woman is beyond a guru. We don't really know how to do it. She does all the work. We just stand here and have a chat. So we can't do it without Rose. So unbelievable. So, Ali, I'm so privileged and pleasured to be able to call you a friend, and we're overdue for a coffee catch-up, just saying. And, yes, we certainly are. We're both very busy women, but we need to make time for that. It's such a privilege to have you in this space working with us, and this is such a needed task, guys. We need to have people in this space that are standing there, that have gone through the process and have got their hands out, reaching down to bring other people up. Because together we can make a difference here, guys. And it's unfortunate that we've been through the situations, Ali and I, that we've been through them. Yes, and it's also, it's like this is what the universe wanted for us, so that we could come from a different space to make a difference for other people. So, yeah, it's wonderful having a sister in arms. And Rose, I know that you're there because you're just putting messages up on the screen. So we know you're there, Rose.
Terrific triplets.
The terrific triplets. I love it. So thank you for being so open. Yes, exactly. So, Ali, thank you for sharing your story here live on the BeLive TV. Let's tell you what the story is. So we're sponsored by BeLive TV, and the program is run over my time, which is live streaming. So without the backup of these people to help us, we as a charity wouldn't have the funds to be able to run these sorts of programs and bring the people to this space. So we're very, very thankful for our sponsors, for the privilege and the pleasure to be able to share this. We've got another show next week. Ali, can you tell us about your guests next week?
Well, I know one guest this week, next week is Rose. Yeah. Which is very exciting. I get to interview Rose. I'm so excited.
How come you get to interview Rose and I don't? That's not fair. Well, I'll have Rose back again later. We'll get it, because Rose can talk about so many different things. We'll get Rose to come back again and talk about things later. Absolutely fantastic. So for ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening and you need to reach out because you're going through that space of trauma and you want to see the light at the end of the tunnel, you want to change the way that you see things and live the life of your dreams, reach out to Ali and have that gentle conversation, and she can point you in the right direction. And so, yeah, I know, because we've had lots of beautiful conversations, Ali and I. Guys, thank you so much for joining us again today on this show. We love this. This show could really run for hours, just saying. Hi, Rose. You look lovely today. I've got to say, loving the glasses, loving the makeup, loving the backdrop. You look fabulous. Just saying, Rose. You look very relaxed. I don't know what the secret to that is, but you look relaxed.
Yeah, there's a secret.
Guys, thanks for joining us today. And if you'd like to be involved in the Healing Through Love show as either an exhibitor for our event in May next year, or a volunteer, because we need lots of hands on decks, or if you're a survivor, please join us here. You can contact us through Facebook, the Healing Through Love SA, or email us at htladelaide@gmail.com. And be sure to join us next week when Ali interviews two beautiful guests, one of which is Rose. Until then, we'll see you then. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks, everyone. See ya.
Oh, I love it. That was so much fun, guys. Like, I could do this every day.
I think we're still alive.
Are we? Oh, my gosh. You see, that's just normal. It's time for the...